of Otaku. That's going to be, you know, the big question right now of how you stall that with the util that you have across the board here for Winthrop University.
It's just going to be such a bait and switch comp with the yours and the chambers, the double teleports. It's so fun to see how the different regions clash too and how they're trying to read each other as the series goes on. And you kind of saw just how much of a tug of war it was, even just between Stella and TSM. So we'll see how Winthrop goes and how historical that is for what this is really making history for the collegiate scene. And imagine if they could ascend, and I could see them doing that. They're a really talented team.
It would be such a cool story to see that, because right now in North America, you have so many cool stories hailing into the Valorant scene. First off, for example, currently Shopfire Rebellion being the first team make it into Challengers from Game Changers, and now potentially Winthrop University from Challengers into Ascension into the VCTs. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, as Winthrop University on the attack are about to engage into this B site.
All set up from Ali and the immediate plant and the cover. This is just another day at the office for a team like Winthrop, who have been grinding so many tournaments ready. They know just how much this means, not only for them, for the school they represent, and for making that history. Winthrop, though, their walls shattered, and it's time for Six Karma to show what they've got. The recon to show how close these engagers are for Six Karma. It's first blood for Infiltrator, and even though the stack, Six Karma take it one step at a time. It's Otaku that has the strike while the iron is hot. And Winthrop thought they had such a good start. Maybe time could still favor them as they peak, though. Six Karma are just hitting headshot after headshot until Winthrop ended for good.
Love the wide swing from Governor all the way from the window to bait it out so that you can get the flank coming through from the heaven and win that round for Winthrop University. And these are some of the things that Winthrop are going to have to start ironing out. Remember, we just literally talked about a marathon that they played. So much tape is on them, but the reason why it went into so many overtimes as well is just try to figure out how they could set up into how they execute in these rounds. They were getting stopped so many times trying to get that stage wall plant, just like Ali just did in his pistol round, and even through cosmic divides onto your attack side executes, with just being snuffed out by Red Knight so well. And at least for now, it's Six Karma, even though despite that they have that tape, they didn't really have an answer into stalling into the site and try to play the flood retake, and got picked off in every single angle.
This chamber, Zhao is gonna get tested here, wants to try and deny that orb. At least it forces out the drone, so you would call that a win, but it just seems so committed to wanting to take a fight. But thanks to just the 1v1, wow! That was lightning fast, and gets to disappear into the shadows, back to safety. But anything but safe. Winthrop have no openings to work with, not when the duelist makes his way down to B.
And it just makes sense to have those two players that could escape, get aggressive angles. You can even see Zhou when he was actually tapping onto that spike, just really trying to bait out that swing, played it to perfection to take down the IGL of Winthrop. And for the rest, though, this is definitely looking to be a thrifty round for Six Karma to answer right back onto Winthrop University. Even Ali's getting swung by 4 players, gets 2 out of that. But Zhou and Otaku stays alive, and they get the round out here off. Again, the aggressive plays with off agents that could escape, and just beautiful shots coming in from their Headhunter and Shares.
Exciting day to be on stage, and this is where you got to show that preparation can bring those results. And just so aggressive from this defense already, and despite it being a sentinel, that chamber is just showing that Winthrop have to be careful at every step that they take. There really just was nothing for Winthrop to work with, and now going to the next round with Winthrop trying to get ahead of the game.
Answer right back with your own Headhunter moves. And that is a key player for this type for the side of Winthrop University, a player that's been playing a lot of Omen when he first started things off into like the Red Bull Campus Clutch. How I knew this type of player, and moves into like Reyna from time to time, and this time just holding that chamber and also playing Senti for the team for Winthrop University. So even across the board, the roster is decorated, well decorated into players that could play a lot of different agents. Think about Governor right now playing as the main initiator for the team too, as Moves opens up the B site alone too. Dude, you're gonna pivot back to B. This is 50 to 30. Are we watching TSM again?
Yeah, right? Man. Now help is on the way, but Moves is going to surprise them. If Six Karma are not careful, at least there's a good buddy system, but can Moves handle the heat? Six Karma are going to check every corner, but Moves is deadly as ever. And you get to see it live in person, but the Outlaw, the final shot rings true, but Winthrop still get the thrifty.
And I love that he's standing up and flexing, because ever since he joined the Winthrop University academic team, if I can put it that way, he's been hard grinding at the gym. He's been beefing up, and I don't want to stand up against him toe to toe. I mean, he's already done so at the VCT in Toronto, and I had to look up. I had to literally look up. This guy is a fridge, but he's actually showing that he has the strength to pull these type of shots in the server as well, and almost pulls out the ace on their own thrifty. But that is good confidence to come back. And you know what? It's a good thing, one, that these two teams are facing off against each other, because it's a rematch in the first place. But they also have the experience now of playing on that stage. So you have that level of confidence and comfort playing against each other with this type of crowd. And now it just comes down to good macro.
Winthrop would very much like to repeat what happened last time, and it's going to be that default now, really being careful of how that chamber is stepping up. And not even just that, the waylay too, the recalls, geez. Winthrop have to just drone at every corner. Now you don't have a good option or a good drone to do it into A, so you have to use the clone and try and see if Six Karma are going to reveal their position. And they fade back into the shadows, into the smokes. Winthrop feels safe for now with the slow orbs. Even if Six Karma want to fight, it'll be on Winthrop's terms. Perfect timing too as the smokes dissipate. Winthrop will be ready. And Joe make contact first at the top. No one at the window, so maybe Winthrop, their attention will be split. And Moves still on flank duty. Shuts down a very powerful win condition for Six Karma, but Ali, jeez, finally gets silenced. And it's just Eltaku against the world. 60 HP, 1v3. Guardian sure scare Winthrop, but they're in position that I don't think he'll be able to do much about it.
Weak.
Unless I cast a curse there, but I mean, he's gonna go down to the spike
it's
anyway.
all good.
At least the kills, you know?
Yeah. And that said, it's good at least that he died to the spike, because even if he jumps out, that probably would have given an orb over to Ali, but it didn't really matter at that point, because Ali also already built his ult with the sprays they had towards the spawn, which is why I feel that it's okay that he committed into the sprays to fight towards the back. Actually, look at that. You already had it when he was fighting towards that back too, so confidence onto the battle stage. And that is a solid hold here on the side of Winthrop University to string down finally a couple of rounds there in their favor. You're seeing though for Six Karma, they do have some very aggressive angles that are trying to hold with Mephisto at the point as this waylay. And if it doesn't go their way and they don't read it correctly, the other players are kind of always playing soft side and they're trying to play the flood retake. But the flood retake so far is being in shambles when Winthrop University are not trying to play post-plant util with the Astra utility and whatnot, right? They're trying to stay on site and trying to fight to not allow Six Karma to really get into positions for these retakes.
With the res too, Ali needs to be safe, although he just brings danger every time he's involved in the picture. He's been crying today. Has been such a fantastic addition ever since he joined Winthrop. And we haven't even got to see Infiltrator kind of go crazy. And he's usually the big carry on the Winthrop side, but such a well-rounded team. And they round the corner into mid to maybe try and join the side here of Governor. Brings that level of experience and that game knowledge. See if they can crack the code here to Six Karma. They'll make contact first and barely dodges the shots. And this chamber will fade into the abyss. Oof. And Winthrop left dismantled. And the spike's down too. That's tough.
And that's Six Karma answering right back. On to Winthrop University. I mean, I saw the thunderfooting that they were trying to do for Winthrop University on top of middle, which I respect because you have the ult available for Ali. You're throwing a Yoru clone. You're trying to bait out some shots. You move in as a pack to try to trade as much as you can. And if you get some sort of upper hand, you get a res, you could split into the site. But it's another one of those scenarios where things weren't working out their way. as soon as they're trying to entry, the crosshair placement's perfect from players like Joe over here, and also from support's position. Catching, unfortunately, Ali off guard, putting the wall up, and gets a beautiful triple kill on top of that. And now no value off the ult, but still a good buy coming out here from Winthrop University. Op for moves to control the A side. And another one of those rounds we could try to position him aggressively because you still have this res to work with. So again, position him on the angle, hold that line, and now start to activate around the map.
A lot of these heroic moments, whether it's Ali or Soundboards in the last round, Joe in the previous. It's going to be some explosive play, but Winthrop maybe try this mid approach again with the rifles. They'd like to take that fight. Really not seeing anyone.
Well, he contains, he hears the drones, so he knows now that it's probably the buddy system of the Waylay and the Sova, so they have to expect Joe again over on the B side, which is why Governor is pulling out this orb, or should I say the Owl drone, to try to get an entry with the Hunter's Fury. What a pick again.
Ow. This chamber's on fire. Ali says all is forgiven. Deep recon. Winthrop will hug the left side. The smoke is the only thing that separates these two teams. But wait, moves on his own is a different beast and really limits and funnels Six Karma to the fight and where they're supposed to be. Now that the wall is down, speaking of wall, there's a cosmic divide. This section's Winthrop only 2 within the site. Winthrop have to step up. They're uninvolved, and Six Karma are evicting any post planters. Maybe Winthrop can go right next to the ultimate. Wait, the rifle. The averages. And now it's a 1v1. What is with the knife kills here at Ascension? But now to lock in this final 1v1. Who's the better chamber? But now the spike ticks down, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day for Winthrop.
Oh my god. And Moves just casually picks up his water. It's like, yeah, that's an easy 1v1. Don't worry about it, guys. And again, Joe has been amazing anchoring around the site. First kills, the TPs, her re-swing outs, jumping into the smoke, expecting where the players could be inside that smoke to take down Governor, which is why I'm surprised as well. First off, within Hunter's Fury, when we tried to open up the site to maybe try to give more space and room to breathe on the plant, yet they still get a plant and they're comfortably on the site, I'm good with it. But then Governor is also playing on site where you can't leverage the Hunter's Fury for the post plant, so it kind of makes things very difficult on the 1v1 in the end, but thankfully, Moves is able to clutch that. But there is definitely something they could have done a little bit more in terms of securing the round, because if you're looking at the buy that they have, despite the round that they won, it's 3 Guardians with 2 rifles.
Aim early round for Winthrop. The drone into A. Look how deep Infiltrator is, ready to dimensional drift to get to this high ground, and Chamber is worried, as he should be. And now the pings to kind of enable this Hunter's Fury, and it's a dance, another dodgeball game. And Winthrop has to follow through. One within the site, the Astra, Soundboards pinned within the smoke, could surprise Winthrop. Wait, Infiltrator, you gotta finish up what you started. At least the trades are there for Winthrop. The Cosmic Divide, this time from the offense, will seal things in. But now you can still, actually Otaku doesn't have reach util. It's hoping to sneak by, but it'll be right into the crosshairs of Moves.
30 seconds left.
Not a lot of space for Winthrop to really work with, and I guess it ends up being a save for Six Karma.
It's not yet, though. They haven't planned it yet. Winthrop has to pivot back towards the A side for the plan. That's the issue that they've been running with. When they're trying to Cosmic Divide and go for the Sage Wall, it's always being snuffed out somehow, and they're getting denied on it. So at least, thankfully, they moved into over towards this A side, and they could still play some sort of a pulse plan after over here. But the thing is you see for Six Karma, now they're finally deciding, okay, we have no map control. We are afraid of our Moves position so far. We can't really scan it out on top of that. So let's just wait into the next round. So somehow Winthrop University won the round off a Cosmic Divide without trading anything else but the infiltration of literally Infiltrator, who missed the kills with the Guardian. But yeah, it was a nice little execute no matter what.
I thought thought the Cosmic Divide would have given them enough safety, but I guess I had a crazy crystal ball there for a second, but still the save ends up being the right choice. And they'll bring 3 rifles into the next, along with a Waylay ultimate, but...
Oh, that's awkward.
What's... yeah. Always fist bump, always fist bump. Unless you play rock, paper, scissors.
We're playing Valorant. It's a Riot Games. You know the right fist bump. Just fist bump, guys. But yeah, this timeout is going to be important for sure. I mean, that said, I still like that they're doing an excellent job into control. The shots are hitting from the ones that have to control the extremities. And Joe, keep doing what you do. You're doing a great job anchoring up towards that B site. But I guess it's that mid take when you're trying to go into these rotates and you have somebody like moves with the operator or just a headhunter being able to diff you or catch you off these rotates. Then you have to think about how you could answer back here into the scaling that you have for the side of the side of Winthrop that they're trying to do and that you deny. So far, they've done a great job holding up towards the Aquarium / Ivy when you're trying to go for the split onto this B site for Winthrop University, but that's a lot of space that you're giving away. If that was being smoked up and Winthrop University decides to split towards the A site, then you really have nothing left because everybody else is such in forward positions trying to hold out towards the A main. So I think you have to be a little bit more proactive into making sure that you don't allow Winthrop University to get that space so early into the round so that Glyph could have the whole map to work with to call these manipulations in these rotates.
Winthrop have done a good job in these early rounds to really work the map and not rush things the way that kind of this game ended up starting out. But maybe the ball now is in 6 Karma's court with the Waylay ultimate, who Mephisto has moved down to B occasionally, but doesn't want to make it a trend, and still something Winthrop have to watch out for with this 2-3 split.
Oh, pre-fired shots. Okay, that has to be some sort of tape because you haven't seen 6 Karma play this map yet, if I'm not mistaken, during the play-ins, but they have played it maybe once or twice during the second split. But to just pre-fire the way that you did for Infiltrator to get that pick, that's a study case that's been put by the coaching staff here of Cole and King Fred as the head coach.
They had their work cut out for them. Not only collegiate, challengers, multiple collegiate leagues, and now Ascension, but they've been locked in from the get-go for this, and playing a match right before they traveled, and man, this Waylay, you gotta respect it. Winthrop have to be on their toes at all times. Hogwarts is even gonna get a heads up on this deep push from Moobs. So it's gonna get Governor to join his side and see if they can just outnumber 6 Karma.
This is what I was talking about, right? You're given that space. You have to play a little bit further back, but now you've lost control of middle. You're allowing these players to just split towards B or A no matter what. Mephisto got the information in the first place towards main, so now Piloncito has to move up and gets it. Dude, that's huge.
Wow. Just these forward positions keep catching Winthrop completely off guard, and I thought Moobs was going to be the one who surprised 6 Karma, and now he just feeds the beast. The spike is down, so Governor... well, just the Guardian. Let's see what you can do from what Moobs left behind. But as the seconds go by, 6 Karma keep their rifles.
This is where a mistake comes through because as you take the space for Winthrop University on top middle and you're pulling the rotates over on the A side, it works out. You're going to eventually split over towards the A side. But it kind of has to be those 2 players that are on top of middle that has to continue to scale up to get the information of where those A players are kind of set up. Well, I was just mentioned before, they usually play a little bit more aggressively towards that A main line, so it's weak side towards B. You got to pull the rotate backwards. If not, with only the time remaining, you saw that Winthrop University were running with knife out. So the choice of Piloncito to move out towards A main to tuck into that corner gives him an ultimate opportunity to get an easy 2K and stop the spike from getting planted towards the A site. So you have to be now leveraging those players on top middle to really pull those rotates.
Would be better use of that drone when Governor hasn't really seen anything early A and now spots that chamber. And that's a big threat gone from the 6 Karma side. And speaking of that, hello Infiltrator. Welcome to Ascension. And Winthrop will get a great head start in this round and already feels kind of over with the positions that we have here on the post plan.
Yeah, and I was just looking at his positioning of how he's pathing up on the map. I feel like he utilized the boxes at the default spot on that B site to utilize the Sage Wall as almost a semi one-way to try to pop some players rotating back from Ivy. Gets a beautiful 2K on top of that. It's very nicely done. Gets the 4K on top of that with an assist coming out here from Governor from that recon dart. And that is a great way to answer back for Winthrop University and not really give a chance now for Six Karma to think that they have a solid defensive hold on this half.
Oh, the ace flick. Oh, and no changes in the facial expression. Okay, little flex. I see you. I see
While
you.
looking at moves, most likely.
He's like, what you think, big bro?
Yeah. He's like, I don't know. Take off your jacket. Let me see. And look at that.
Damn.
So not only that, so it's a nebula smoke, and on top of that, the Sage Wall, giving all that advantage for Infiltrator to play that one way.
Sabor, si van a, vamos a llegar a pelearlo, ¿ok? Solamente cuidado con los bulls.
This is the version of Infiltrator we know and love, who has been the duelist to watch when it comes to NA challengers. Now, because of this loss, Six Karma on a mixed buy, a lower buy, and hoping to scrap at close range where they can, but pretty heavy lean towards the mid. Oh, Guardian's nice.
Disrespect and fight moves. They are playing a little bit of a default from time to time with sometimes 3 players moving up, but most of the times they're going to play this this extremity and 1 player lurking on middle. It's just going to be moves. So they use 2 players to flush him out. Otaku, who's been amazing during the last time these 2 teams faced off against each other, gets that nice little pick.
Original Drift will have to uncloak and has to face the music. An Infiltrator still delivers. Recon gonna reveal that player.
No way, dude.
Okay, the shot went through. Holy. Infiltrator and just friends from Winthrop getting so much more aggressive. But a long flank is on his way, and Joe trying to save the day, but it's because it's costing so much time. Maybe just going down to the spike would be the best move.
Agreed. Try to do some damage too, potentially with the flank watch, because moves is already down, so there's nothing watching the flank. Yeah, free kill into Governor.
Last player standing.
Pretty good damage.
One enemy
Pretty much a
remaining.
silver lining. Wait, there's more, and grab well enough to pull him off the defuse. And well, Taku gets the last laugh, but it's still a Winthrop win at the end.
Didn't I see this in round number 2? He just gets like a 3K, just jumps off the map, die in the spike because they're too slow on a retake. But at least if there's anything, Otaku has to be looked at in terms of somebody that could be your initiator with some immense and tremendous firepower. I mean, look at the ADS on the Guardian, how he plays this on that 1 versus 3. Governor, though, by the way, this is a whole different Governor than what I remember from casting or watching the North American side. Because I didn't see him being confident and fluid as much, especially when it comes down to playing a raise with the satchel and the space that he could gain. This time it's just running around playing TDM, and he's just literally landing and laser beaming every single one of these opponents that he faces up against of 6K.
Love that Winthrop brought their A game. Now it's to slow things down. They really try to take advantage of the mid side, and something that Six Karma are trying to patrol for a lot better.
Portal closed. Time to jump.
Infiltrator revealed, and now just kind of wants to disappear from this location.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to play soft site. You have 1 player trying to launch the angle that could TP to safety on towards Heaven. You hold at that line, you prevent Winthrop University to push aggressively towards Heaven and Ivy, and you could just play the ult from the waylay.
Joe just has B on lock and just chose the wrong target. It was the clone, and Winthrop have a window to work with, and man,
Team Flash.
Ali is creating gaps within the bodies on the other side, and well, the aftershock just a delay until Six Karma can take down this Sage Wall. There's a bit of a crack in it, but hey, there's the waylay ult, and Ali stuck. Is the support that the smoke will isolate? It's a great job from Six Karma, but the numbers are equal, and Ali does not care about numbers. Holy!
Yeah, holy Oli for sure, man. Another 4K coming in for the man. Oh my God, his holiness just lands and it holds a 2 versus 4 for Winthrop University with Moobs. But that's off a beautiful op shot from Moobs. Information on that second player for them to be able to isolate that kill and win that fight. But it all started off this. It was such a beautiful hold at the very beginning by Mephisto and by Zhou. But then when they were able to surprise the 2 players behind the stage wall, a team flash came out from Otaku, which then slowed down the 2 versus X that they were holding for 6K and allowed for the action to calm down and for Winthrop University to position themselves to clutch the disadvantage.
High low double swing, and Joe has not missed on these teleport outs and mitigating that risk as best as they can. Last round here of the half. Winthrop want to finish out strong. Got the Resurrect, weren't able to use it last round, and could even get the Hunter's Fury if they can get orb control. And so Governor has. Six Karma aware of this and keep their positions cemented until Winthrop make the move.
Oh, they're selling a ruse right now for Winthrop. Moobs eats the drone. Now they're forced into Hunter's Fury for the full rotate. And because Moobs was the only one that was spotted, these guys could just start walking into the A side, go for the full exec, and it's a 4v1 on that side.
Dablor's had one really good round. He has a really good kill, immediately traded.
You will
All he
not
does
kill my ally.
goes back to get the Resurrect. Plant is down, and Dablor stopped in his tracks. Was the only win condition Six Karma could have really worked with, and now a Bucky to retake against 5. There'll be a 9-3 half eventually here for Winthrop. Kind of set the tone for the rest of the series.
And even Governor, the fact that he was able to sell a fake and get a kill on top of that comes to show how Six Karma kind of got their ankles broken on the fake that we're throwing here for the side of Winthrop University. So a nice little small macro set up towards the end, baiting out the Allen drone, forcing out rotates over on the A side. And Winthrop University definitely look a little bit, or should I say, much more cleaner than they did against Six Canadians on this site.
Absolutely. It was a nice fake too, and it's definitely gonna be an IQ check when Winthrop are starting to divide their forces, and as the map goes on, they're really starting to develop their offense. Well, I guess now they're swapping sides, so we'll see how Winthrop do on their defense, see if they can close it out. But we have an interview in the audience with Tonello, so let's go say hi.
Olá, Andrezão, cara, tô aqui com o Fogão FRZ da equipe da Red e bora ver como que ele tá achando aí desses dois times, enfim, quem é favorito e tudo mais. So I'm here joined by FRZ from Red Cannons, and I want to know from him what he thinks about both of these teams. Você jogou contra os dois, infelizmente o resultado não foi aquele que a gente esperava, mas vendo assim, quem que tá mais forte, qual que foi mais difícil de enfrentar?
Cara, olhando o jogo assim, eu sinto que o time da universidade ele tá mais estruturado, tá jogando melhor aqui na Lan House, mas assim, qualquer momento pode virar aí esse jogo.
So he says that Winthrop, he thinks it's a little bit more structured and they seem to be more used to the LAN, but anytime this game could just have a comeback or something like that, so we have to watch. E eu quero saber também, mano, de você, não só pensando nessa dificuldade, né, e dos resultados, enfim, em relação a esses times mesmo, mas em relação ao Brasil, cara. Infelizmente a gente ganha um jogo, depois acaba perdendo outro, a Stellar no dia de hoje. Como que você vê a performance geral dos brasileiros?
Eu sinto que os times brasileiros ainda não mostraram todo o potencial ainda. Acho que a gente está se acostumando ainda com a LAN. O primeiro jogo é sempre mais difícil, que é a estreia, né? Nervosismo. Mas eu acredito que eles vai ficar muito melhor para os próximos jogos.
So asking about the Brazilian performance in general and why maybe they have these kind of complicated results, and he said that the first game is always very hard, so it may be something like related to these nerves, and he thinks that the Brazilian teams will get better and better with each game. Valeu, hein, mano? Tamo junto demais. Quase que eu deixei você no vácuo, hein? De volta com vocês.
Ooh, that was a
Great to hear. Yeah, it was great to hear from FRZ, and looks like he hasn't given up on Six Karma.
Yeah, that's right. Again, it's just talking about what everybody talks about as soon as we're starting our debut on the big stage and trying to ascend here to the VCTs. There's always going to be nerves in the very beginning, and then eventually you warm up and you get into the game. Thankfully for Six Karma, it was already a hot start for Otaku and for Zhou, but now hopefully the rest of the team could follow suit. If not, it'll have to be another one of those stories where you got to flip onto the second map, you trade maps, and everything gets decided onto the third one of Lotus again. But with them on defense this time around, the Lemon Kiwi, they have a read. 3 players already getting ready for the 5-player hit from 6 Karma.
Oh, this is a 6 Karma map pick. Winthrop been so strong on this before. 6 Karma, see if they can check moves at the door. Even through the smoke, he did teleport until he was on his last life. Still an opening kill for 6 Karma, but Winthrop are still on the site. And Joe still bests the other chamber. 6 Karma, the round in their favor. And all he has to pick up all the pieces.
He's done it before. Not going to do it now. And that's the difficulty as well of Winthrop University having to deal with this new type of composition that they have to play against now that you have this dash and this dive that you could get from Mephisto that gives you free information and could even stay on site if nobody's really activating and taking it down, especially if you're able to dive behind them. If you're looking at this exec though, on how he creates that space through the Nebula being thrown on the attack, so you could actually move and get these one-way leg shots, body shots from maybe swinging towards under that bridge. It's just a nice, beautiful execution on the side of the attack when it's a 5 versus 3 take.
So wants to be that entry, and you got 6 Karma on their normal default. Even if they can draw out that wall from Ali, or if he's gonna delay this just with the slow orb. Looks like 6 Karma are able to grab that orb, and that's all they really came here for.
They'll take an orb denial too on top of that. That's where you're defaulting on both ends. You can't let somebody like Winthrop University spiral like that, but looks like we are.
Boobs is creating that trend, that step up, really challenging 6 Karma to that duel. And Governor can give him that information with the recon that was shot probably in that early round. So Winthrop go back to their bases, and Infiltrator is going to the attacker's base. This is crazy. 6 Karma now flashed and backs against the wall. And Winthrop, there's more on the way. They're surrounding 6 Karma, and they barely left spawn. But wait, 6 Karma bite back even harder. Ollie will be the last one to check them. And still, with that last player at a few HP, Ollie should be getting the last laugh here.
Thankfully, Mephisto has regen shield too, so he could survive a little bit of more pop shots from Governor's Classic, but from Ali or Moobs, that's immediately going to take him down. And you already see Mephisto, since he invested into this Vandal, he's going to save it for the next round. But the fact that Infiltrator got the right click and put him down to that amount of HP in the very first place is quite insane.
Thrifty.
Very nicely done on inserts and plays. And with the University, they get their own Thrifty against the pistol that they lost.
Get to double digits too. This is the red zone. This is danger for 6 Karma, who started off with a pretty good performance. I mean, the 2 chambers have been just going at it. But as soon as you give Winthrop an inch, they just take a mile from the previous round, like literally infiltrating the base, to Ollie being consistent round after round. So Winthrop stay on top. See if they'll end that way too. 6 Karma hope to test this Sage with that slow orb for that orb denial. You just have to be on your toes here if you're 6 Karma.
You'll need his double swing from both the Hero Rifle and Joe with the Headhunter to hopefully surprise somebody, and that's Moobs. In an obvious spot, but could still escape here as he's playing his chamber to watch in front of that line.
A deeper drone here. No one at the window, just the one that was spotted. The immediate double dash from the waylay. Ooh, tags the elbow with Moobs. So up next is Governor. Either drone or shock bolt if they expect 6 Karma to be up close. And Winthrop are waiting for all their pieces to be in position before they strike at the Kings. And 6 Karma just opening up the angles because Winthrop are taking too much time, but maybe that patience pays off. The King of the Hill has been removed, and Infiltrator takes over for the 4K.
Dude, I know they're easy kills because it's anti-eco, but getting the planner, a flick onto the top to take down at least the one with the rifle, and then a 180 to drop the guy towards main. Infiltrator is basically a turret right now on this Yoru. Look at these kills. It's simple on that second one. Good positioning. It's just heads up awareness on every single position. I mean, he is even impressed of how clean it's been in this series. Look at that little smirk he just did.
Like, ew, like, don't be scared of it. Be
I'm
aware
dirty.
of it.
I'm dirty, boys. I'm dirty.
Didn't slice yet, though, but hey, we're impressed. He's impressed. Winthrop on fire. 2 rounds away. Look at this full send on 3 people walking down A into their own slow orb to deny the other orb. And 6 Karma left without their duelist.
He's a turret that also has wall bangs. No, could see through smokes as well, because that was just a spam shot with the smoke, through the smoke, with the Phantom to take down that duelist that you mentioned before, which, looking from the side of 6 Karma, they kind of needed to move forward like that to pick up that orb. Try to allow here to get Mephisto closer to the big ult for them to explode late into the round. They'll still try it, though.
Man, Ollie is so annoying with how much delay he can create. But never mind. Just about a millisecond, but enough for 6 Karma to grab the orb and dip. But that means they have to re-clear through the rest of the map, which I'm sure is sketchy when Winthrop usually are pretty aggressive around B.
You have 45 seconds left on the round. By the time you make it into the front, it's like 30 to 28 seconds. And then if you have good stars being placed up here by the Astra, by Glyph, that's going to stall things
left.
even more. Maybe a gamble hit.
Drone through the left side, and Joe just gets caught hopping, and Winthrop,
Down B.
great timing all around to surprise them and to out-rotate them. Spike is down, so
10
happy to
seconds
keep
left.
the rifle here at this point. That means Winthrop are on match point from here on out.
And that's the mechanical prowess of the IGL from Glyph as well. When you look at, okay, if you're playing your ranked games, you're like, okay, these guys are going to come in. There's going to be 28 seconds left. If I want to try to stall as much as I could, maybe I could just try to go for a grab well and keep them at base so my teammates could rotate. A smoke people could just run through, but he leverages. He puts 2 smokes up towards that front of the site and even plays the one inside sight. So he creates his own little lane between 2 smokes to get these kills right there. You just see it on the replay. That's just nicely done. He drops the spike. He does the same purpose because his gun does the talking and does the stalling. So it's just super nice to see how this Astra Glyph is currently playing and how he's plugged into the team quite well. Because in the past, when I'm thinking about this roster, I'm looking at this roster, I would have thought Ali would have been the IGL for this team. He who IGL'd in the past for Northwood, gave that responsibility to Darkest. And then I thought he was going to, and he came in as a coach, by the way, for Winthrop University before joining into the main roster. So you would assume when he comes in from IGL and coach experience, he'd take the reins as the IGL for this current iteration of Winthrop University. But Glyph, he's been phenomenal as well. A lot of promise being shown by these 5 players across the board so far, as you could see and as you could tell from how good they've been from top to bottom.
Winthrop are the proof that preparation, hard work really does pay off. From a team that wasn't regarded as like at the top of North America, work their way to that point to be a threat into playoffs and to make their way into Ascension. And 6 Karma, we're hoping to rewrite history, and they take the tactical timeout to kind of reinstill some hope that this could still be doable.
It'll be tough because this timeout, they come out of it with a low buy for 6 Karma. And I think, again, orb control is the name of the game. Try to get that available. Divergent path for Mephisto now finally online. And how do you utilize this for your exec? So far, they're not playing inserts either. Look at how aggressive the trip is up towards middle. They're trying to see here if Winthrop University are going to come up against them. And if nothing's really happening, you're going back into a last-second hit where you haven't baited utility on the side of the defense, where your Hail Mary with this ult might once again be stuffed. Look at them. They're going into 4 players getting ready to counteract.
Waylay is gonna get some purchase too, and Winthrop are just gonna have to scrap through it. And who's gonna pull the trigger first? The drone reveals just how close Winthrop are, and now it's pedal to the metal. An Infiltrator lets loose with 3, falling like dominoes. And it'll be the same ending as before,
30 seconds left.
unless Joe can have an explosive performance in this 1 versus 2. And he's proven just how impactful he can be. Now as the dust settles, you still have to figure out who is left and where they are. And the check moves, and as he goes to escape, the flank has been checked, the IGL on top, but so is Winthrop with map 1.
And what a nice little cherry on top there to finish the first map for Winthrop University. Already pre-read of they were going to try to go for the Hail Mary execution for the side of 6 Karma. What do? You hold up in front of that site. You think